As many of you know, I, along with House and Senate Democrats, have been working for over a decade to abolish the death penalty in the state of Ohio and to move instead to a sentence of life without parole for those we are sure, and I want to emphasize that, for those we are sure have committed a capital crime. I've introduced a bill to end the use of the death penalty in Ohio in every General Assembly since 2011. And I want to acknowledge the people that came before me, before that, who have, and many folks on this call, been working for more than a decade to end the use of the death penalty in Ohio. Senator Peggy Lehner and I introduced Senate Bill 296 on March 24th of 2020. We have yet to get even sponsor testimony. Now we know with the date that it coincides with first a total lockdown of the state due to COVID. But we also know that as we look to the end of this lame duck session that's coming up, there is still time to have hearings on this bill. And frankly, to as Abe said, there's no reason it couldn't be added into some of the other priority bills in the state of Ohio. You know, it would be a compassionate, pragmatic, and economically prudent step to abolish the death penalty. It's a punishment that's shown to be administered with disparities across economic and racial lines as well, and it's failed as a deterrent to violent crime. We know this. It's never resulted in the return of one murder victim to their families and their loved ones. And I believe that we as a society must be better than our worst criminals and our flawed criminal justice system. We're calling for Senator Eklund to have hearings on this bill because Senate Bill 296 was assigned to the Judiciary Committee in the Senate. 22 states have already abolished the death penalty, including the District of Columbia. And we also know with the studies that have been conducted just this past year, and if I'm saying something that someone else is saying, it's all going to be worth repeating. The Gallup poll most recently in 2009 tells us that there has been a shift in public opinion, and that more than 60% of the people in the United States now believe that they support going to life without parole rather than execution and the death penalty. I think that's very, very telling. It tells us that we as a nation are moving in what I would like to think is the right direction. There are a few other bills that are being considered in the General Assembly in both the House and the Senate. The serious mental illness bill, which I've been a joint sponsor on before. Williams and Eklund have a Senate Bill 54, and then in the House, Brent Hillier has a bill, House Bill 136. And then there's also a bill to abolish life without parole for juveniles. And that's Manning and Lehner, Senate Bill 256 in the Senate, and Senate Bill 256, Manning and Lehner. So these bills continue the consideration, and a lot of times people don't want. There's been a lot of effort to say, well, we don't want to look at one and think about ending the death penalty in general. And but I want to say that every time there's a hearing on any of these bills, people learn something. We bring in the experts, we bring in people who have been touched by the death penalty unjustly many times. We hear from them, as we're going to hear this morning. It opens the conversation, but more than that, it adds information that is critical from experts, from people who have expertise in mental health, from people who have expertise in juvenile justice. And that makes a difference in terms of how we make our decisions and produce good public policy that benefits the state of Ohio and the people of the state of Ohio. So as we go through this, as we look at all of these things, it's important for us in the state of Ohio to take these next steps to be better, our better angels, if you will. And my hope in the next few weeks that we have left is that not only do we continue the conversation and continue to educate members of the General Assembly about the importance of ending the use of the death penalty, but that we also pass this critical legislation, we and the state of Ohio will be much better for it. Thank you.